What's Gucci, boys? Just as a preface, I have COVID, so if I sound weird or look weird in this video, that's why. If COVID wants to run back, I'm gonna give him hell. Regardless, we finally made it to 2024. Happy New Year. Yes, sir. Yes, sir, we made it. But the biggest thing on most people's mind right now when it comes to games is what's up with Nintendo. It's been 7 years since the Switch came out, and most people were feeling it. We're ready. It's time for a new console. And most signs point to there being a new console this year. So what's up with it? So I thought today we'd go over what's next for Nintendo, what's next for the Switch. We'll go over the few facts that we know. We'll go over what we can guesstimate, and then I'll talk about what I want, because I always want fucking something. So first of all, I think it's good to mention that the Switch still has games coming out this year. We still have games lined up for almost like every month of the first part of the year, if you fill in the blanks. Now, yes, a lot of these games are remakes and remasters. In January, we have Another Code Recollection. February, we have Mario vs. Donkey Kong. March, Princess Peach Showtime is the only actually like original game coming out this year so far. Then April, most likely we have Paper Mario. May, we most likely have the DLC coming out for Splatoon 3, which will be huge because it's a whole extra campaign. And then sometime in June or July, we probably have Luigi's Mansion 2 HD coming out. So the Switch still has games, but at the same time, this release schedule definitely like signifies that this is the dead end. This is end of life for the original Switch. And so if this is end of life, that means that the announcement and the hype cycle, especially for this new console, has to come hella soon. So what do we know about this new system? Besides some of the parts that Nintendo's been shopping around for and going to different manufacturers for, like Samsung, for some screens or some chipsets, we know basically nothing. We know Nintendo had a Gamescom demo with investors and other people where they showed off a souped up Breath of the Wild and the Matrix Unleashed or whatever the fuck it's called. And then we know that developers most likely already have dev kits. But that's kind of where the trail ends. So from what we do know, what can we guess? What can we guesstimate is going to happen this year? What's the time frame for the release? How strong is it going to be? What games is it going to have? What the fuck is the gimmick this time? And like I said, I think most likely with Paper Mario and Splatoon coming out in May, we're going to see a spring announcement. I think they avoid March, since March is the release of Princess Peach Showtime. It's basically the first, like, big Peach-led game. I know Super Princess Peach is out there. It's a little irrelevant. It counts, but it's a fucking handheld game. What do you want me to say? Nobody fucking remembers it, man. But I think they avoid March for those reasons, you know? You don't want to fuck over Princess Peach's first game with all this Switch 2 news and people go, well, why the fuck would I buy that when the new console is coming out soon? But instead, you announce it when your two releases from some bigger franchises are coming out. Paper Mario 1000 Year will always have people coming to go buy the game because they want to know what's up. Or they loved it when they were a kid. Or it's Paper Mario, or it's a Mario game. You gotta buy it. And on top of that, if the DLC is coming out in May, that's a perfect time. Because the people who bought the DLC already bought it. So there's no reason to not really announce it then. And if they do announce it then that's an easy fall release for us. Now, we can also kind of guesstimate that the Switch 2 will be around as strong as a PS4 or a PS4 Pro. We know, again, some of the chipsets that they were shopping around for. And we're around that range with that. And also, I assume that Nintendo wants to push the Switch up to 4K gaming, and to reach that, that's kind of what you need. I mean, we know most likely with them working with NVIDIA again, DLSS will be on the console, so they'll be able to reach 4K, like, regardless. But it's still like, you know, you want to be on this higher end of the spectrum. And in terms of games, there's a few things we can kind of guess, depending on, you know, how much time there's been. Like, there's probably a new Mario Party coming out this year. There's never any DLC for Superstars. Missed opportunity, but, you know, it's done. So, most likely, new Mario Party this year. It's also time for a 3D Mario. So, if the Switch 2 is coming out this year, that's also a great time to release that. But I think the game that we will see this year is going to be one of the big guns for Nintendo, which will be Metroid Prime 4. I think if you're going to release a Switch in fall, that's the game you release alongside it. And then finally, what is the gimmick of this console? What can we guess is the gimmick? And this one's an interesting one this time around, because Nintendo's the king of making gimmicky consoles that are very kooky and weird and that you would not expect. And in this situation, I think Nintendo's finally backed the fuck down. There's an article released today that explains how this new Switch will most likely just be a new iteration on the original Switch rather than something new or a Switch that has all of these new features. It's most likely just going to be, Switch with more powerful hardware, can do more stuff, and has more options available to itself. And I think that's right in the money. We kind of know that when Nintendo decided to go the hybrid gaming route, that they knew they were basically backing themselves up into a corner. There's no real coming out of this hybrid console for them. And if there's no coming out of it, it's just time to embrace it. It's just time to make it stronger, do what we can with it. It's a perfect route for the company. All of their different studios have now merged to all be home console studios, making home console level games. So it makes sense that they just continue moving forward. Nintendo will continue to make the amazing games that they make, and they will continue to make it on hardware that simply just becomes better and better and better. And I think that's basically just the future. It's sad to an extent Nintendo is finally stuck in this corner, but at the same time, consistency is also very great. That's how Sony has reigned at the top of this fucking chain for so long. So I think it's time that Nintendo also got with it. And I think that's about everything that we can guess. Personally, what do I want from this console? It's my channel. Y'all come here from me. So let's talk about what I want. Me personally, I think everything that we kind of laid out is perfect. I think that it being as strong as a PS4 Pro would be great. If it's a little bit weaker, so be it. That's how it is. I'd be okay with that. I think DLSS from NVIDIA will make up for a lot of the extra, space, right? And we'll probably be able to get like a lot more third parties on the system, along with a lot of performance increases. I think a big thing for the console is going to be that it's backwards compatible. Nintendo would be stupid to not do this. They always do this. It's going to be backwards compatible. And so if it is backwards compatible, I think a big thing that Nintendo's going to say is, hey, look, this is this game that you love running on the Switch 2 at a new resolution and a new frame rate. And then a lot of people are going to go, okay, now we're talking. Let's go back. Let's play some Breath of the Wild. Let's play some Tears of the Kingdom at, 4K 60 or something. That's personally, like, what I want from the backwards compatibility. I want to see a lot of performance increases, and I want that to be showed up. I want that to be shown in the marketing. I want them to go, hey, look, we're not getting rid of your old Switch games. Those all still run here, and just as well, if not better. Another thing that I want is for them to finally fix up the Joy-Con. I love the idea of these, and I think their execution is almost there, but it fails in so many aspects where it's like, I think we need another pass. I think getting another pass of these is where we almost achieve like greatness with them. I think being able to go with those and make them, like very ergonomic, make sure that they that there's no more drift, maybe find a better way to do the shoulder buttons because these are garbage. I think all of that would make these perfect. And then on top of that, talking about the Joy-Con kind of connected me to the next thing I want, which is VR support. I think a console that's this strong can absolutely do VR. The Switch 1 could almost do VR. So if they're making a Nintendo Switch 2, which is in a similar format, I think this is when you would want to make VR a priority. Jump in with Sony and make a dedicated, headset for it. Make the Joy-Con your basic controllers for it, and just go crazy. Maybe make some VR games. Add better VR modes to your own games. Just go crazy. I think that'd be a hell of a lot of fun. And just generally, I want the Switch to keep going. I just want them to keep going with this momentum that they've got. I think 2023 and 2022, like together, were some of the greatest years for the console in general. And I think the Switch itself is just a legendary console. An achievement of technology, games, art, everything. I think everything about it is so special. But yeah, that is about it. So let me know what you guys think. I genuinely want to discuss this because I think it's very interesting I love the Switch. I'm super excited for the Switch too. I want to know what's on everybody's minds. What are we thinking? And yeah, I will see you guys later.